Alright, welcome back to episode 2 of the best podcast in the West. Just of everything, I guess.
Strong words. And today, me and Haley are back with our new guest, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Xotri. I'm a local Vancouver cosplayer. I do a lot of modeling, big gamer geek. I used to do seasonal stuff at Nintendo. So, do a lot of stuff.
Nice, awesome. So, basically with everything, we'll get you to start kind of just saying, like, how do you get into cosplay? Like, what kind of, like your story, that's all.
My story? Let's see. I went to my first convention back in 2009, so I've been cosplaying for about 9 years now, roughly. I used to always watch a lot of anime when I was little, and I didn't really know it was called anime at the time. I just really liked the style. I'm like, I like that cartoon. I love Pokemon. I like Digimon, all that type of stuff. And when I found out that Anime Evolution was coming to Vancouver is when I first heard about it. It's like, I need to go. Oh my gosh. And so I got my tickets like immediately there, and I had a great time.
Nice.
I've been going ever since.
Nice.
Awesome. What would you say your favorite con is so far?
Ooh.
Or you can do like top 3 or something.
Top 3? Well, that's a good one. I've been to a lot of cons, so it's a tough one. I'd say Anime Revolution. SakurCon's pretty good. It's the one I usually travel to out of Vancouver.
Nice.
And let's see, I had to say Anime Evolution because it was the one I started out with, right? So.
Nice.
Cool. What's next?
All right. Are there any like future like cosplays and things you're currently working on?
I'm working on a few actually. So the one I'm currently working on right now is both Callie and Marie from Nintendo Splatoon.
Nice.
So we're trying to get that done for this summer for Annie Revo. We're not sure on that one yet, but we're currently trying to get that ready. I do have a new one coming out for Annie Revo this first weekend of August, and that's going to be Grima for Fire Emblem Awakening.
Nice.
So that will be really exciting. And then later down the road, there's going to be a Performing Arts Olivia for another group that I'll be doing.
Very cool.
Very awesome. And so continuing with just con-related topic right now, do you have any like best moments of being at these cons, like things that you kind of remembered and kind of cherished throughout your whole time going through these events?
I would have to say more interacting with the attendees, because you always meet new people there. That's the one thing I absolutely love about going to cons, personally myself. Even like meeting with some of the guests there too, like you see your favorite voice actor, and it's almost like the character's there, right? You're like, oh my gosh, it's this guy, right? And even getting to interact with them, you get to make like a quick joke or two, right? Is always a memorable moment, and it's just so great.
And now that you've said like a really good moment, what would you say is the most awkward moment that's happened to you at a con?
It's always our favorite.
This is my favorite question.
Awkward moments.
I feel like there's been a few.
There's usually a few, right? It's like, where do I begin?
Well, I buried them all out back. They're all with tombstones.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, some of the awkward ones you just kind of bury in the back of your mind. So then when you get called out, you're like, what was the most awkward thing?
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes you get those people that try and hit on you, but they come across as creepy, and that's always awkward. Like, they don't really know what they're talking about. Like, me personally, I have a identical twin sister. So when people start flirting with her and then flirting with me after, we call it twin hopping personally.
Oh
and we're just like,
wait.
Oh.
That's a...
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Do you ever just look at them and be like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah. And it's usually when we're both like right next to each other too. We're like, we look at each other like.
Yeah, but I still see differences between the two of you though. Like facial wise, you're not exactly the same.
We have some differences, but other than that, everything else is identical.
Yeah, it's
right.
Pretty cool. But I mean, I could.
Yeah.
I could still kind of like tell it.
Differentiate.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to try and keep some differences too, right?
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Yeah. That's cool.
Awesome. So now that we're done that, so for like anime, like what would you say like some of your favorite animes are, and is there anything you're looking forward to watching the up and coming like seasons?
a little behind on the enemies, to be honest. I've been keeping track of what's the newer ones lately, but let me think.
I mean, I'm kind of with you. I haven't seen anything from the newer seasons. I mostly go back to like things from the 80s, 90s, maybe early 2000s. I'm even 70s. I like going back to like older style anime a lot more than newer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like my sister showed me this show called Golden Boys. It's a really old like 70s, 80s anime show. We had a really good laugh watching that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I enjoyed that one. It was like that's one anime you want to watch in an English dub, just for the comedy.
All right. Sounds good. Sorry.
You alright?
My throat is not the best today.
Okay. Awesome. So basically, we all have nothing that we're currently watching. Haley, do you know anything about the new anime season?
No. I think the most recent thing I watched was Made in Abyss, which is a fantastic series, which I do recommend. It's pretty short, but I think they are working on a season 2 for it, so I'm pumped for that. Are there any video games you're hyped for? Anything you're playing right now?
Well, my favorite game of all time is Nier Automata.
Yeah.
It's one of my personal favorites. So, what else am I'm really excited for the new Smash Bros. Though.
Oh,
play
my
a lot
God,
of Nintendo
yes.
games.
So, were you watching that E3 stream?
Yes.
Were you hyped about Daisy and Ridley?
Oh,
Get
yes.
it? Daisy Ridley!
Oh my
Confirmed
God.
for Smash! But yeah, that was a pretty great E3 stream.
Yeah, and
Good
everyone's
job,
like, "Where's
Nintendo."
Waluigi?"
I know!
We need
Oh my
Waluigi.
God,
It's like,
the salt. Just everyone's like, we need the WAF!
yeah. And then on that, I play a lot of Splatoon 2 at home, which
Nice.
is great. It's one of my personal favorites. It's
Very
another
nice.
one of my favorites besides Nier. So.
Nice.
Awesome. So, coming back to more of like a con topic again, for people that are just starting cosplay, is there any kind of suggestions you'd have?
Yeah. The best thing I recommend is my number one advice whenever people ask me is do something you want to do. Not just because of the popularity or because someone tells you to do it. Do it because you want to. Because you're going to be more comfortable in it. You're going to have a much better time than if you do something that someone just wants you to do.
For sure. That's very, very good advice.
Thank you.
Yeah. And just don't kind of feel bad like if people shame you, because that's going to happen at cons. There's always like one or two people that will kind of shame you at some point.
Like, you're going to
A lot of my
encounter
cosplay
someone
friends.
in your cosplay career that's going to be very negative, but you kind of just have to rise above it. Don't let it get to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, back on the silly topics, what are the best waifus and husbandos of the whole anime and gaming scene?
It's a big
Here we
question.
go. Yeah.
Dropping the bombs on
Ugh.
us.
2B's definitely a waifu. Well, I also really like Lucina. 9S is a precious cinnamon roll.
That's adorable.
I really like Gaius from Fire Emblem. So
Nice.
he's the husbando.
Word.
Yeah. I like too many anime characters, video game characters.
It's okay.
Sad.
You can always come back to the topic
Yeah.
if you think of any.
Yeah,
Robin.
yeah, exactly.
Robin, Fire Emblem. There's a lot of Fire Emblem characters on there.
That's fair.
What about you, Haley? Any to add to this?
I couldn't think of anything in the moment. Does Kirby count as a wife or husband? Oh,
Be a husbando.
he'd be
Kirby's a boy.
husbando, yeah.
A lot of people don't know that, but Kirby's a boy.
Kirby is
I
definitely
remember
a dude.
I did an event with Nintendo, and this lady's like, "Oh, it's Kirby amiibo. Is it like, specifically advertised for girls?" And I was like,
You're just like,
"No."
No.
She's like, "But it's pink and stuff." I'm like, "No, Kirby's a boy." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Kirby's a boy."
Kirby's a boy. He's a Star Warrior. He's
Kirby-
single, ladies.
Kirby is cute.
So, is that your next cosplay?
Well, we have discussed me doing quote-unquote sexy leg Kirby, which would be a joke cosplay if just like you know in the SpongeBob movie when Patrick, at the end, he has like the stripper boots and like the
Oh, when he's
fishnets?
singing his Goofy Goober song?
Yeah.
I love that.
My
That's
friends and
great.
I, we've kind of discussed me doing like a sexy Kirby costume, where I've got like the legs and then I just have like a ball on top, so I'm like sexy Kirby, and I'm like, oh goodness, it might happen. Probably not for a while, but I think that'd be fun.
That would be fun. I love seeing like parody cosplays too.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, things that don't take themselves
Something
seriously.
Yeah, something you can laugh at together,
Yeah,
right?
you're like, oh, that's funny.
Awesome. So, like, yeah, are there any, like, upcoming games or games that you really love to play? They can be anime related, or they can just be, like, just things that you're interested in.
Well, like I said, I'm still really excited for the new Smash Bros. I'm not sure on that one. There's just so many good games. I really hope they make, like, a Drakengard and original, like, Nier Gestalt Replicant remake. That'd be cool. Like, if Square Enix did that. Oh, Kingdom Hearts 3, that's a big one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for that one.
It's only been 10 years, right?
I mean, they've had, like, games in between.
Yeah.
Ish.
It's like,
Remake.
instead
Little
of
remake.
actually just releasing Kingdom Hearts 3, they're just like, have 2.7. 2.9.
And people are like, what's with the numbers? I'm like, don't you get it, guys? They're counting up to 3.
Right? They're just really bad at it. It's like Valve. They don't know how to count to 3 either.
Valve's a good kid.
Like, insert wah noise here.
Nice. So, are there any, like, cosplayers or people in the community that you look up to? Or people that you just idolize or try to see as a role model?
There's a few that I really look up to. The one on the top of my list, she goes by Lee Kovacs. She
I've
also
heard of her,
yeah, she also does a lot of stuff with Nintendo, so it's like I can relate with that, right?
Yeah.
We both did Nintendo stuff, and she does a lot of Nintendo themed cosplays, and it's like I really love her work. And I actually was able to meet her last year at SakuraCon, and it was just so amazing. Like, I went up to her and I'm like, I'm gonna say hi, I'm gonna be normal. Like, don't freak out.
Yeah.
Don't freak out. You're gonna meet your idol. And then she goes like, oh hey, I know you, and I'm like,
What?
I'm done.
Nice.
It's like, try not to cry.
Oh my god.
But I'm also a fan of Leon Shiro.
Don't know that one.
He's this cosplay from Italy. My sister went and met him.
Oh, cool.
She said he's really nice. Just
Nice.
sent me like a video. It was like,
Cute.
yes.
We can include a link in the description for these cosplayers so you guys can check them out too.
Yeah.
I also try and support our local cosplayers too.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I see like a friend or someone with a really nice cosplay, I'm like, hey, I really like your costume. And that type of stuff, right? You know, try to give them like a compliment. You know, I appreciate it.
Share the fan
or a
page
fan,
or
like, guys, you
something.
gotta check out this
Yeah.
awesome person. Like, hey, you like this series? I have a friend who did this really cool cosplay. Let me show you.
Yeah, for sure.
Go support them.
Yeah.
Nice. So, besides cosplay, what experience do you have about, like, when you're wearing cosplay throughout your day at a con, it usually kind of disintegrates throughout the day into nothingness.
Oh my God.
And then at the end of the day, like, you know the theme to Titanic? That should start playing as everything starts coming off. And you're just going, like, as soon as you go to the con, you're strutting your stuff. You're like, And at the end of the day, you're kind of just...
You just know.
Where did my glove go? Like, where did this go? What am I?
It gets really hot. Some people start taking off like their jacket for their costumes,
Yeah.
and like no. And then you ask for a photo in the evening, like, let me put everything back
Yeah.
on. Give me a minute.
Or like, you notice your makeup starting to, like, sweat off or something. You're just
Yeah.
like, oh.
It's like if I'm at a con and they do like a night party, whether it be like PAX or anything else, and I'm in cosplay, I love the night just because it's cool and I'm not sweating like
As
to pretty
much.
much I'm not sweating at all. It's great.
Yeah.
Get all that ventilation. It's nice. But my favorite one for me was I think this was at Annie Revo. I think it was the second time I cosplayed, and I didn't realize this, but for about an hour in the day, my wig fell off, and I had a wig cap on walking around the event for a good hour.
Oh no.
Fantastic. You nailed it.
That's when you hope someone would just come up like, your wig's.
Buddy.
Yeah.
You're what happened to
me? I don't mean to intrude, but
You kind of...
well, what's this hairstyle you got going on? Or lack thereof.
Are you an original character?
Yeah.
Oh my
Is this your OC?
What anime are you from?
So do you have any stories like that? That you want to
Oh.
share? Okay,
Oh.
okay, I'll add that. Ones that you don't have to share it if you don't feel comfortable.
Usually I am full of stories, and it's just like, what story do I want to bring back from the subconscious to share.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
It's okay. Take your time.
I'll try and think of something.
All right. So in the meantime, is there anything like that you do like fitness wise, like to stay in certain shapes for like cosplay and stuff like that? Because I know a lot of cosplayers that I know have some kind of either diet regimen or they do like some kind of exercise throughout the week to kind of like in the summer especially, just because that's when all the cons are. Is there anything that you do related to that?
I personally, I don't really stick with a strict diet, to be honest. I partly say like my metabolism plays a good part in my fitness, but when I was a lot younger, I used to do a lot of physical activity. I used to do a lot of running, so I'd run track and stuff. I used to do a lot of dance. I stopped doing it for a little bit, but I'm slowly getting back into it. So that's also a really good exercise routine for me. I do like at home stretches. That's usually what I do personally. It works out.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, so with people that are kind of new coming out to cons, is there any suggestions you'd have for brand new con goers? Or just like things from a 9-year veteran.
I actually do a panel for this.
There you go.
So
Nice.
I used to do a panel called Surviving the Con for new attendees specifically, like things to look out for, what to do in certain situations, how to handle things, right? Things to expect more so, right?
Nice.
The nice thing about the anime cons, especially nowadays, is everyone's really friendly. So if something happens, you're not comfortable talking to a security or a staff, you can talk to a con attendant and be like, hey, do you know who I can talk to, or can you help me with this, right? So everyone's very friendly like that. So it was really nice how you can just go up to people, you can make a joke, and you can express your concerns if there's any issues, and word, like anywhere word gets around quick. So usually con attendees will eventually hear about it and they'll resolve the issue professional and as fast as possible.
Good.
Other than that, I know like first timers, it can be a little overwhelming because they're not used to everyone being like so energetic and like
together.
Like it's like because everyone's very social, right? So people just run up to you and you're like, oh my gosh, what's this? Yeah, you're like, oh my gosh, you may not be used to it. So it can be a little overwhelming. So don't let that scare you or stop you.
Kind of take a deep breath.
Yeah, it's more fun with groups. It's also a lot safer too because some areas can be a little sketchy.
Yeah, that's
depending on where the event's being held and what con. They're usually pretty good venues and they're really good with their security and their con staff, but still anything can happen anywhere really, right?
Yeah.
So it's always safer.
Just be conscious of your surroundings essentially.
Yeah.
Don't get too caught up in the action.
Yeah. So I always recommend group of friends, people you trust personally.
Yeah, I'd second that. Like one con especially that I'm happy that I had friends with me was AE in 2016 when they had the con at a hotel in the middle of downtown, and it ends at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and then people had to walk home on a Saturday night downtown in cosplay. And there's a lot of drunk people, a lot of partiers, a lot of people that
just kind of there.
Kind of will go up to you because you're more eccentric or different than the average people they see downtown.
And there's some people that just don't understand, right?
Exactly.
There's the people that kind of specifically want to harass, and then there's the people that just don't understand what's going on. You gotta kind of just like...
Yeah, usually with that situation, I always say, like, keep an open mind, be aware of your surroundings, group of friends. Right.
Definitely. Safety is important.
I mean, surviving a con for me, I was really bad the first year I went to a con because I literally blew everything at the merch hall, and it was good times. I went I walked out there with like I think 3 bags and those are the carry bags, and I'm like,
my God.
Did I just spend
entire paycheck?
I just spend my I did that. Good thing I got a credit card.
I remember. One of the first conventions I went to where I had a job, I spent at least $100 on pins alone. I bought so many pins. And then like a couple of years later, I realized like what I'd done, and I was just like, wow. I could have literally bought anything else with that money.
Yeah, different pins.
Yeah. Bigger pins. One giant pin.
Jesus.
The pin of all pins.
Yeah, like...
That'd be impressive to see $100 pin.
You just frame that.
Right?
It's like,
how
I'm
big
not allowed
would
to
that
wear this
even
out.
be?
You have to frame it like this was $100.
And like it doesn't even say anything on it or anything. It's just like a pin. It's just this completely useless thing.
You could wear it.
Where?
I don't know, just to a con, be like,
I am a pin.
yeah, just say,
I am a pin.
I've literally got the biggest pin. And just
Fight
stare
me.
at people. Yeah, pretty much.
Prove me wrong.
Oh my I have the biggest pin. Change my mind.
Just like sit at a table.
Be the new meme.
Yeah.
Get a sign. That's great.
Well, it's funny enough, like, you could do like a flex tape thing for that.
Oh my god, no.
Well, that's the thing. Me and Shauna were thinking of doing a walk-off where, like, she's my assistant and I'm, like, the flex tape guy.
Oh my god.
Because I can actually do the impression really well. And when we go to PAX this year, I'm going to go to, like, a Walmart and buy flex tape. Just because I can
Just walk
say...
around and just be that guy
I mean,
with flex tape.
I love those ads so much. I've never actually sat down and said, this is a waste of my time.
And I think we've watched them a few times now.
I think at least 5 to 10.
At least.
We've watched, like, the freaking JonTron video at least 5
my
times
God.
about it.
It's beautiful.
So we've spent about an hour of our lives looking at tape.
What's wrong with us?
Yeah.
Please send help.
Yeah, like,
Cosplay problems.
pretty much.
Cosplay problems. Oh my god.
So yeah, speaking of, like, favorite animes and stuff, what kind of anime got you into, like, watching? Like, what was kind of the thing that made you start loving anime?
I was very big into Pokemon. That will always be number
Yep.
one for me.
Yep.
I watched a little bit of Digimon when I was a kid, a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to collect the cards, especially with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Mhm.
I didn't care about the cosplay war fandom between the two
Yeah,
back then.
yeah.
I'm like, I like Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I
Yeah.
like Nidoking, and they're so cool.
I just want to collect them. Yeah.
Exactly. I remember I watched Tokyo Mew Mew as a kid, and that
Oh, yeah, I
really got
watched
me
that
more
one.
into it.
Nice.
It was cute.
It was very cute.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, it's been, they have over 20 seasons now, Pokemon, I think. Has Ash won anything yet?
He almost won
Because I'm like, I can't
league.
remember him winning.
God.
He almost won a league, and everyone's like, "Is he gonna win it this time?" And then he lost in like semifinals. We're like,
Wah, wah.
but I think he finally turned 11 now.
Oh.
Like he had,
Wait.
he left when he was 10, and then they had an episode with his birthday. I'm like, "You're 10 years old again."
What the
I was like,
fuck?
and I think they did another one. I can't remember when, or if it's legit, but they're like, "You're 11 now," or something. And I was like,
He ages
I hear
very slowly.
that he finally turned 11. I'm not 100% sure.
Wow.
So
Hold on, let's go back for a second. So I'm gonna go with the Pokemon logic. You know, it's like I have a kid, and I'm like, son, you're 10 years old right now. Get the hell out.
But take this cute little monster.
It's time for you to take this creature that I've saved in a ball for, I don't know, 15 years because I stopped traveling. Now go outside and fight other people with it, and win
Bye.
money.
for money
Yeah.
And send
Yeah.
them
Sorry. You need to go fight
no.
people for money.
and science.
And
To get your
science.
Pokedex. I need you to collect all this data for science.
Hold on, but what if you suck at Pokemon training and you lose every battle? Like, how do you stay alive? Like, do you just have to go back home?
See
And
Nurse Joy
You
alive.
go to the nearest Pokemon Center.
But then-
you just camp out there.
you have to all the money you would make though. You don't make any money at that point. You're just losing. Like in every Pokemon game, you go along every street and you just challenge everyone, and they keep losing money. If you kept doing that, how do they stay alive? Do they just go back home to their parents, or
You would think.
yeah, like
Maybe they go down a different career path. They become the next Nurse Joy. Or the next Officer Jenny.
And then there's the two little girls that look below 10 that always challenge you in a doubles.
Oh, yeah, little preschoolers.
Yeah, why are there preschoolers unattended outside here
It's in the middle of a forest
and
or whatever.
There's like a 60-year-old man fishing right next to them. That doesn't like that's I don't know. I don't trust that guy.
Interesting.
You know, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I just work here. Anyway, we're gonna stop recording, take a small break. Hello and welcome back. That was a very short break. In the
They won't know.
Yeah, exactly. They won't know we took 2 hours to actually restart this.
You put this in like bloopers, like, oh shit, did we say that out loud?
Nope.
You didn't hear that.
Please cut.
It was a 10-minute break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to our guest. She's smart. All right, so we're gonna start back with some stories that Victoria would like to talk about. I think the one you want to talk about is the Ray Chase story.
Oh, okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a really big Gaius fan, and there's one voice actor named Ray Chase. He voices Gaius in Fire Emblem Heroes, and I was like, okay, cool. And I knew he was going to go to KupoCon for when they were in Vancouver. And I was like, okay, cool. But he was also a guest for SakuraCon. And I was like, yeah, I'll just see him at KupoCon. It's fine. It's not, and I was not going to go to SakuraCon this year. But then they announced one of my other favorite guests, which is Max Middleman. And he voices Leo and Forrest in Fire Emblem Fates. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, now I have to go. So I went. And when I finally get to see Ray, I tell him, like, you know, I'm from Canada, that type of stuff. And you came a long way just for this. And he's like, oh, hey, I'm going to be in Canada in like a couple weeks. I'm like, yeah, KupoCon. I know, I'll be going to that. I'll see you there, hopefully, yeah. He's like, okay, cool. And I happen to tell him, like, you know, I'm a really big Gaius fan, and I got a poster that's on its way, and I'd love for you to sign it. And he's like, okay. And so he sees my little Gaius acrylic I have on my phone. He's like, can I take a look at that? And I was like, sure. He signs it. And I was like, ooh. Oh my. And then he says, now you need to bring me something good. And I was like, oh, challenge. Okay. I'll think of something, right? Just like, okay. So I made the joke. I'm like, okay, so I made a joke about going to a Final Fantasy convention dressed as 9S, because he voices Eve in Nier Automata, with Fire Emblem merch. He's like, yeah, absolutely, do it. I mean, this is all Square Enix. They cross over, right? You can get the Engine Blade. Just go for it. And I'm like, hey, cool. 2 weeks roll by. We're at KupoCon. And I'm dressed as 9S, as I said I would. And for opening ceremonies, he was actually sitting not that far off from where I was. So we're like, hey, Ray. I wonder if he remembers. So he comes up to me after, and he goes, excuse, is this a Final Fantasy con, not Nier? And I was like, excuse? We talked about this 2 weeks ago. Don't you tell me. Right, kind of joking along.
Oh my God.
He's laughing. He's like, okay, all right. Is there any cosplayer walking around? I was like, I don't know. Probably not. There wasn't. So I was like, okay, I'll see you around, right? We had our photo. It was great. So I'm thinking, I'm like, I need to one-up this still, because I got my poster. I got a poster I really wanted him to sign. It's like, I don't know what to do. So I go to his signing, but I brought something with me this time. I figured it out, and I felt like a genius, because it's going to be so cheesy. It would work out if he gets it. So when I get him, I bring in the poster, and he looks at it, he goes, oh my God, it's you, right? And I was like, yes, he remembers. Now you remember. He didn't remember me as 9S, even though I told him. I'm like, which is fair. It's totally fair. Like, he meets thousands of people on a daily basis, right? So it's totally, I don't expect him to remember me at all from, like, that joking interaction from SakuraCon. And so he remembers me from the poster. He's like, oh my God. And I told him, like, I didn't forget our bet, by the way. So I slide him a 10-pack Tim Hortons Timbit pack. And I go, I guess you could say I sweetened the deal. And it took a minute, I was like, oh my God. I was like, yes. And it was perfect.
Worth it.
It was one of my fun con experiences, like, especially interacting with the guests. It's like, it's always nice when you can make that joke.
Nice.
And you just remember it.
And so, you said you had a funny kind of encounter with a cowboy.
Oh boy! You find your cowboy. It's a good time.
Wasn't even high noon, I'll tell you that.
No.
Ooh.
So
That's...
spicy.
Okay.
Because I know the person you're talking about. That's why it makes so much funnier than it actually should be.
Yeah.
Like, you're the odd one out on this, but oh my God.
We know.
You and me, we got
wish
this.
I knew.
Next time.
Yeah, next time.
This is one of my awkward con stories. So I'm waiting in line with my sister and some friends to go see the walk-off. And I think it was Anime Revolution or it was Anime Evolution?
It was Revolution.
It was Revolution?
It was definitely Rev.
Yeah, okay. And I'm waiting in line, and this guy dressed up as a cowboy, he walks up to me, and he's like, "Hey, girl, you want to see my guns?" And I'm like, "No, thank you, sir. Just, no, thank you. No, not really." And, of course, he's a cowboy. He pulls out these little gun props and starts twirling them around doing this little show. And I'm like, okay. What do I say?
What is this?
I said, "No, thank you. Keep walking, cowboy." Shots were fired. Get out of here.
Get out of here, Nigel.
Yeah. But then we get in for the walk-off, and he walks on, and I'm like, "Oh my god, the cowboy!"
Oh my god!
Oh my god! It's him! And he does the same trick he showed me, and I was like,
Gets him every time.
So what you're saying is he has one move.
he's a one-trick pony.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
He's a sweet boy.
Like, I'm sure he's a nice person.
Yeah, like you see, seems like an innocent person. Just
So funny. It's
just to go up to like someone.
Innocent.
He just kept going. I was like, what do I say now? Like, what do you
what is
want me to
this?
say? How do I politely just say, "That's great"?
Am I on candid camera? What is this?
But I mean, it makes a good story.
Yes.
Well, I have a question. So out of all the cosplays you've done, do you have like a favorite one that's got like your best sewing or your best prop making or like what's your favorite?
I made a lot of really cool costumes, overall in general.
Mm-hmm.
Not just stuff I made for myself, but as like commissions. One of my favorite ones would have to be Garchomp that I did for Pokemon, because it was my first time really working around with armor and stuff. And I did end up getting recognition from Nintendo for it too, which was really cool in the end. It's like one of those moments you try not to cry.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really cool. It worked out well. It's not like a costume I'd wear all day because it's a bit fragile, that type of stuff, but it's a really cool type of character costume. And the inspiration behind it was the Pokemon World Championships, because I used to play a lot of competitive Pokemon, and Garchomp's a really popular Pokemon you see a lot in competitive teams. And so I took that inspiration, like, I'm going to make a world-inspired competitive Garchomp, so the armor. And the recognition with Nintendo was they did a promotion event at one of their mall kiosks. I'm like, hey, for the release of Sun and Moon, we're going to do a Pokemon costume contest. All ages, free to enter. Just bring in your costume. We'll take a photo, and we'll call you if you get picked. I was like, sure, I'll bring it in. So I brought Garchomp, because I'm like, it's a really cool costume. Got all these cool prosthetic teeth molds, so it looked scary and intimidating, and it was like awesome. I was super proud of this costume, even though it was a little fragile. And I ended up placing first in that one, and when I went to go pick up a prize, I had to sign a little waiver form, which, is normal with most contests. You sign a release form saying, you picked it up, and this type of stuff, you give approval for them to share your photo. And they're like, oh yeah, your photo is going to get sent to Reggie. And I was like,
oh my god.
I'm sorry, what? What?
Oh my god.
So I was like trying not to cry, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
It felt so good. Just like,
Congrats. It's probably well deserved.
So you said you used to play Pokemon competitively.
yes. So yeah, it was around Pokemon X and Y when they introduced the Mega Evolutions. I did pretty good. I remember I used to play either just in top cut or just under it for when I got into the competitive scene. And the nice thing about it at that time was you didn't see your duplicate copy-paste team, as some people will put it. So not every team was the same that you would see. Like, everyone had their own different strategy ideas and different themes, like weather or like different types of ideas, like typings. And it was really cool to see different team builds rather than your same thing in every team. So that's what got me really into it to begin with, because I really liked that. And I ended up placing online rankings 16th in all of Canada online for that around that time.
Wow.
So I did pretty good in some tournaments. But then let's see, it was Auras. I played a little bit in Auras. The duplicate team started coming back, and then I ended up getting a little too busy, and I stepped out for about 3 years. But then, I think it was last year, there was a Pokemon Regional Championships event that took place in Richmond. And I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm going to make a comeback. And so I did. I made a comeback. I didn't do too well, I'll be honest. Being really rusty, 3 years comeback's like, no.
Yeah.
But I came for the sport event and for the fun of it anyways. And it was really nice to see, like, the community, because that's the one thing I really love about Pokemon is the community. And it made me happy to know that people who were there, they remembered me from 3 years ago, and they were actually really excited. They were really happy. Like, oh my God, welcome back. It's been so long. How have you been? Like, how are you doing? Are you competing? That type of stuff. And it was just so supportive. And we could still joke. And it's like we picked up where we last saw from when I went to tournaments last. So it was really nice too. Cool. So it's like slowly on off in the competitive scene. I keep up to date with it. But yeah.
Nice.
That's good. Yeah, kind of happens with me with like my games. There are certain times in the years I kind of go, I can't really like invest enough time to stay good enough to like contend for like winning things. Mm-hmm. So it's like I'll play casually and then I just stop kind of caring about placing and then I just play for fun.
Yeah. I got a lot of friends. I met some cool people who play competitive Pokemon as well, and they do really well. Like they compete in Worlds, they get flown out to all these tournaments, and whenever I can, especially if it's being live streamed, I love to just try and show my support. Like every year before the Pokemon Championship, I make a post. I'm like, hey, to my friends competing, I support you. You got my support. Do great. Show them what you got, right?
Yeah.
And you know, try and show that support as they show me. Get back what they get. So
nice. That's always good.
Just make like Instagram hype videos and tag them in.
It's like, I'm not there, but I supported. Look at how good they're doing. Oh my gosh, I wish I was there.
On the live stream, you're just spamming the chat.
Notice me.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Why?
Oh my God.
This hurts me so much. Okay, so pretty much this is coming closer to an end with all the stories and everything. Haley, is there anything else you'd like to bring up?
I don't know. Is there anything you'd like to talk about? Any shout outs or anything?
Hey, how you doing? I'm Nigel. Nice to meet you. Anyway, go on.
Oh my God. I'm gonna cut that.
Yeah, we're totally ending it at that point.
It's like, are you trying to say you don't know me? Because I thought we were pretty cool right now. Oh my God.
Wait, who are you?
I'm out.
Shit. Alright, we're done.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
We're done here.
Well, I do cosplay Rem too, so I hear a lot. Who's Rem? It's like, yeah.
I'm about to start watching ReZero. I have not seen it yet.
If you want a really good parody of it, listen to Geigex video of ReZero in 8 minutes. I have never laughed so hard in my life.
Should I see the series first, though, right? I should see the series before I...
You can if you want. You don't have to see it to get it, because, like I said, it's a parody. He's going to make fun of it and just summarize the whole series in 8 minutes. It's really well done.
Alright, thanks for tuning in. If there's anything you'd like to say...
Where can we find you?
Yeah, where can we find you? Tell us all about your social media.
You can follow me on my Facebook page and my Instagram at Xotri, Xotri. I know sometimes people have problems
have it in
with
the description.
name. Yeah, description, yay! And you can find me at most of Vancouver's local conventions, small events, that type of stuff. I'm pretty social, so feel free to come say hi to me. I love meeting new people. And I hope to see you there.
Word. Well, that just about does it for today. I'm Haley.
I'm Nigel.
I'm Xotri.
And we're done.
And we're out of here.